As we all know, the Disney Channel is home to many of Disney's biggest sitcoms. But another thing they love to do is make original movies, ones that go throughout many genres and character types. One of their most surprising recent hits was that of the 2 zombie movies that they made. Yes, they literally made movies called Zombies and Zombies 2. Welcome to our world. Anyway, the second movie ended on a massive cliffhanger, and many people are wondering what will happen next. So allow us to show you what will happen in Zombies 3. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Number 9. A recap of Zombies 2. In case it's been a while since you watched Zombies 2, allow us to give you a recap of all that happened. Apparently, in the history of Seabrook, there was a faction of werewolves that used to rule. But the settlers were able to come together and drive them off and steal their precious moonstone as a result. Fast forward to the present, and Seabrook is not just at peace, for the most part, with their zombie neighbors, but they're fully integrated into their town. Addison is at cheer camp, and there are zombies on the squad. An accident leads to the rediscovering of the werewolves, who are in danger because their gyms are losing power, and if they don't find the moonstone that was stolen by the original settlers, they're going to die. To make matters worse, because of the werewolf return, the town of Seabrook reinstates their anti-monster laws, which of course leads to big trouble for Zed and Addison. Because why should anything be easy? To make matters even worse, both Addison and the werewolf pack think that she's a werewolf, as well as the great alpha that will help lead them to new lives and freedom. After a bunch of hijinks, the moonstone is recovered, the werewolves are saved, both the werewolves and zombies are able to accept their monster nature, and of course, Addison and Zed finally get together. A truly happy ending all around. But number 8, the final scene. So after the big dance and Addison and Zed sharing their first kiss and so on, we cut to hours later when Addison is asleep. But outside her window, we see that something big is going on. A giant blue meteor is descending to the earth and crashes into the ground with an intense light. Something from this light makes Addison's radio go nuts, waking her up. As she looks into the camera, she notes, "Weird." But that's not the weirdest of things. The weird part is that after she said that, her hair glows blue. The same blue that the meteor had when it came down and crashed. Now, if the hair was caught in the light of the meteor, that would be one thing. But that's not what happened at all. Plus, the hair glowed and then returned to its normal white state. The reason this is important is manyfold, not the least of which is that we know that Addison's white hair is a key part of her story overall. She didn't understand it in the first movie and tried to hide it, and then in Zombies 2, she thought it meant she was a werewolf, which turned out to be not true. So, given that there are zombies and werewolves in Seabrook, what's to say there isn't another kind of mythical creature out there? One that just so happens to have blue hair. This is the mystery that will drive Zombies 3 should it be made. Number 7. Will there be a Zombies 3? If you're wondering as to whether there will be a Zombies 3, it's still a bit up in the air. You see, Disney hasn't confirmed anything as of yet, likely because the movie just came out this year, and just as important, the global pandemic put a lockdown on filming, well, everything. And Disney absolutely has been hit by that like many other production studios. However, that doesn't mean there isn't hope. Not the least of which is because Disney originally didn't know if there would be a Zombies 2. So they made the original film so that it had no cliffhanger. They made the sequel with a cliffhanger, and given the popularity of the first film and the response to the sequel, it'd be rather odd for them to suddenly not make a third movie when they've clearly set it up. Granted, it might not come out for a while depending on the lockdown situation where the filming happens, but things are lightening up out there because of the vaccines that are now being made and distributed. So if you're hoping for a confirmation soon, do your part and show your love for the film. Plus, there's a certain habit that happens on Disney Channel. Number 6. Disney Channel franchises. Let's be honest here, one of the reasons that Disney Channel is so popular is not just because of its sitcoms, it's because of its new movies that come out basically every month. They love making new movies to keep the viewers coming back. But not unlike a regular channel, they're always looking for new franchises to be born. If you look at certain original movie franchises, you'll see that they could have been just one-off movies, but instead became franchises, for better or worse. For example, there was the Xenon movies, or the Halloween Town films, and of course, there's High School Musical and The Descendants. So when you put all of this together, you get the very likely possibility that Zombies 3 will happen. Number 5. Filming and release. Looking towards the optimistic side of things, let's talk about when things will start filming and when they'll be released. Disney Channel is nothing if not consistent in terms of just how they do their filming and releases, as well as their announcements. For example, Zombies 2 didn't get its announcement until a year before its release, meaning that fans had to wait a while for its confirmed announcement. As for filming, the first 2 films were shot in the spring and summer of the year before its release, which would work out in its favor this go-around because of the pandemic. Finally, the first and second film were released 2 years apart and in the same month, February, which means should the scheduling hold, you can expect Zombies 3 to arrive in February 2022. Granted, it's not guaranteed right now, but it's a good guess for a landing date. Number 4. Cast. A big question that has yet to be answered is how much of the cast will be returning for the film. More than likely, the major characters like Zed and Addison will return, especially the latter given her blue-haired revelation. The actor behind Zed has stated he wants to tell the next part of the story for the franchise, so that's hopeful too. Then there's the werewolves, who are now a key part of the story at Seabrook. They're likely to return as well. And if there is a new species of character, they'll have casting down for them as well. Only time will tell to see what happens and who comes back. Number 3. Themes. It wouldn't be a Disney Channel original movie without some kind of message or theme that is meant to inspire the viewers at home. And in the case of Zombies, it was very much about being accepting of other races and types of people. Something that we absolutely need to hear in our world today. Between the zombies and the werewolves, there's a lot of prejudice in Seabrook, which is why there was the anti-monster laws and such. But also, some of the monsters hated themselves because of who they were, wanting to be normal so that they could shake the monster label. And of course, there's Addison, who's desperate to find out what pack she belongs to, because she doesn't belong anywhere at present. As such, Zombies 3 will no doubt expand upon these themes and give some serious payoffs to characters like Addison. Number 2. Theories. Okay, so let's get into speculation. What's going to be the main focus of Zombies 3? More than likely, it'll be about Addison and the meteor that likely made her hair glow blue. But what does it all mean? A theory that's been going around is aliens. After all, the meteor is from space, and that would track. But given the more fantasy element of the Zombies films, that might be a bit too much. However, there could be a magical answer in the form of a thing like fairies. But that would raise the question about Addison's parents, who are clearly very human. Does that mean that Addison isn't really their kid? And if it is fairies, why did they come to Seabrook now? Was it to find Addison? Was it like the werewolves where they were locked away and only now got free? There are a lot of mysteries and not a lot of answers. Yet. So what do you think? What do you think of this look at Zombies 3 and what will likely happen should the movie get made? Do you want the third movie to get its time to shine? What do you personally hope happens between the main characters? What kinds of songs and dance routines do you think they'll be able to bring forth for the third movie when it arrives? Let us know in the comments below and be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you next time on the channel.